To the average viewer, Tony Romo's transition from NFL quarterback to top-tier CBS broadcaster felt seamless. One day he was throwing touchdown for Dallas and the next he was in the booth with Jim, predicting plays with an effortless charm and swagger. After all, many former athletes try their hand at media upon retirement, but none had ever become the highest paid analyst just 3 years after hanging up the cleats. By all accounts, he was simply unnatural. But Romo disagrees, admitting in a podcast interview recently that he was bland, boring, and frustrated with himself at the outset. I watched myself, it was so boring, you would have been like, this guy needs to stop doing this right now. That was the start of me listening to myself, Romo said. It was just trial and error and gaining an understanding of what I would want to hear. When I listened to it, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm the worst announcer ever. I'm so boring, I cringe already listening to myself, but that I was like, To give him some reputations and confidence, top CBS brass put together a little boot camp where Romo and Jim could practice together an old game tape, the hope being that simulation would help Tony find his voice. Romo said that eventually he found his voice while trying to mimic other broadcasting giants. I tried being John Cruden, John Madden, Phil Simms, Troy Aikman, Chris Collinsworth, and what I found was one day 50 times in doing games, it clicked for me. And not to say that everyone loves it, but I found my voice and the sound and the way I was saying it. I actually was like, oh, that was okay, and that's big deal for me to say that. Whatever was hiding within himself, Romo found it in spades. If he's not the most popular NFL color commentator at this point, then he is a close second only to Chris Collinsworth, who has been doing the job for 30 years. It's an amazing ascension that will likely never be achieved again, and it's like thanks to the same thing that made him a professional athlete practice.